Right now, Bibb County Board of Elections says it's working to make sure people have an accessible place to vote. Election day is 1 week from today. This comes after a federal judge in a voting rights case called out Bibb for closing several polling locations between 2015 and 2016.
He called that evidence of discrimination. Camila Williams is live outside of River Edge Behavioral Center, a current polling place, to talk about how the county is reacting to the judge's ruling.
Yeah, good evening, Frank and Lori. Last week we told you a federal judge threw out Georgia's voting districts and told them they had to redraw them. Now, I talked to an expert witness on the redistricting trial, and he told me that the reduction in polling places all started because of a memo in 2015 by then Secretary of State Brian Kemp. I also talked to the Bibb County election supervisor, and he told me that they're making improvements. A judge ruling in a federal lawsuit in Atlanta wrote about Bibb County closing 8 polling locations. All were in primarily black neighborhoods. Election supervisor Thomas Gillen says Bibb County told the election board to consolidate.
Some of it was easy because some of the polling places were schools that were being either torn down or remodeled or such, so we had to be out of there.
Gillen says the best way to do that was to combine precincts. In 2015, the county had 40 polling locations. The next year, for the 2016 election, they cut it down to 32. 4 years later, the county cut another one in the Hazard precinct. Orville Burton was an expert witness in the federal voting race case. He says Georgia's black population grew in recent years, so voting districts should reflect that.
There was an opportunity to create a district where minorities, in this case particularly black citizens, would have an opportunity to elect a candidate of their choice.
A judge also cited Hancock County for reducing its polling places, particularly one in a black neighborhood that was 17 miles from Sparta. Burton says when reducing polling places makes it difficult for people to vote.
Also, so many minorities are in an 8-to-5 job or limited where they can go. It's like almost putting another poll tax back in because it puts a disparate burden on the people who live further away.
Gillen says while Bibb County is removing 2 locations for next year's election, they'll replace them to help voters.
And we should have them and all that worked out well before the next election, which will be in March.
Now, according to testimony in the federal trial from the Leadership Conference Education Fund, Georgia closed 200 polling locations in 2019. Live in Macon, Camila Williams, 13 WMAZ News.
All right, thank you, Camille. The federal judge last week gave the state until December 9th to draw up a new voting map. Governor Kemp called for a special session at the end of November to deal with that.